Hello, hello, hello. I think we're live. I've just got to do a quick story, so don't mind me. Give me 2 moments, and then we'll get going. Let everyone know that we're live. James, what's happening? Welcome. Let's add a link, add the URL. Be there. All right. So today, I'm thinking that we're going to do some screen cap studies, which I enjoy doing, and I haven't done in a while. So, sorry. My deepest apologies. This is very unprofessional. Just throwing it out on Instagram. 3, 2, 1. I think live now. Started. All right, go. Okay. Hey, what's happening, fish? Great to have you in here. Now I'm going to just start the stream to Instagram, and we'll be good to go. Oh yeah, we've had some technical difficulties. I tell you what, this morning. Oh yeah. But it doesn't matter. We're here now. We are trying to stream. I'll show you what I'm doing, so it's not just me fucking looking off stream. Okay, so apparently we're going live on Instagram momentarily. All right, we're here. Julia, welcome. All right. Go live, off we go. Let's start this bloody thing. That was a bit of a slow start. I'm just going to close the door. Give me a second. All right. And we're back. We got the coffee. We've got the energy. Let's roll. So, screen caps. For those of you that are on YouTube, the link's in the description of the Pinterest board that I'm going to be using to do some screen cap studies. I want to do some color, right? I want to have some fun figuring out how to simplify shapes, arrange them in a certain way that looks cool based on a screen capture for those of you that are playing at home. Charred Marbles, great to have you. Mr. Sir, welcome. Kate, great to have you. Mohammed, can I please explain the colouring of the drawing? That's what we're going to do today, my friend. All right. Let me just get us situated. Let's crack open a new thingamajig. So yeah, last week. This is kind of going to be a little bit of a follow-on from last week, I reckon. So last week we did some realistic versus stylized. How's my mic levels as well? Miranella, welcome. So sort of some more realistic painting and then stylized sort of stuff. So I might try something similar today, but I want to jump straight into color. I want to have some fun doing some color. So we're going to be doing the challenge, right? It's a team sport, doing some warm-ups. I'm going to be using the Filthy plugin, but you don't have to. It's not a necessity. All right, so I might just start. Just so I've got something on the page. I don't like starting with a bloody blank screen necessarily. So I'm just going to get a little rectangle going here. I might do Mr. Gosling, this middle one to begin with, just to get us kicked off. You can choose whatever one you want. All right, we're going to do it in color, and I'm going to try and talk through what I'm thinking about as we go. All right. Little Doodle Devil. welcome. Deville, very cool. About to jump into some clay modeling at college, and you've been one of my references for style. It's smaller scale, so the exaggeration is key. I did some clay stuff yesterday. I was playing around with different, I don't know if you can see, sort of weight on hands. So you got like a super skinny hand, and you got like a little bit more chunky hand. So yeah, love me some clay sculpting. Hope you have a good session there. All right. So I'll let a few more people roll into the stream, and then we'll get cracking. We'll get going with the warm up. Deville, oh, awesome. Nah, that's cool. I love clay. It's the best. All right, so strategy talk before we get stuck into it. So I'm not going to be thinking about, this is like a key thing I'm not going to be thinking about. I'm not going to be thinking about I'm drawing an eye. I'm not going to be thinking about I'm drawing a shirt, a head, an ear, right? At least in this first little bit, I'm thinking about abstract shapes as much as possible. And that's going to help with getting these shapes in the right place. Zach Binus Designs, I can do that for you. Let's crack open the plugin right here. Now, I haven't got the latest update open, but we do have an update of this. Francis, which is a very good friend of mine and business partner, he's made some wicked updates to this. So definitely go check that out. Links in the description, as you know. You know the drill. All right, so we're going to get the timer ready. We're going to get settled in. What do we reckon? Timer, what? What are we feeling? 50, nah, bit too long. Let's go 10 minutes. So that's 600 seconds. All right, so I'm just setting the timer here. All right, so we'll go 10 minutes, little 10-minute little studies we're going to do. I'm going to do Mr. Gosling smoking a cigarette. And let's go. So first off, I'm just going to have this sort of border, right? Just so I've got a place to have my drawing in. All right, and you know the drill. Let's go with 5 emojis up front. 5 emojis, get it rolling. Don't want to wait too long. And that's the ticket to get into this session. That's the cost, the price of admission. 5 emojis, I'll count them down. Waiting on you, chat. You know the drill. Star-Lord. And yeah, I'll do a little Elvish. Bam, we got one. Whoop. We got one. We got Julia. There's a little bit of a delay, but we'll get there. I think we got up to like 25 the other day. Zach Binus Designs. We got 3. Yeah, welcome. Deville. We got Little Doodle Devil. We're good. That's more than enough. Let's get cracking with it. So with the Filthy plugin, I'll just start the timer like I promised. Increase the mic volume. This is the loudest that it goes. I'm just going to have to talk so close into the mic like this. I hope that's not annoying to people. Because some people say it's fine, some people say it's not. Okay, let's... I'm lost. Where am I? Okay, 3, 2, 1. 10 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Good luck, everyone. I wish you well. So blue is what I'm seeing. I'm not going to be bloody stressed out about it. I'm not going to be, oh, what exactly the kind of blue. And this could actually like fall completely flat. But I'm just going to, oh, I'm wasting so much time. Shit. All right, here we go. All right, blue. Bam, bam, bam. So we got that kind of blue. Let's make it a little bit lighter, right? A little bit more saturation and just tweak it. I'm really just going to be squinting down. Right, so this filthy plugin, literally you choose fill. So there's like a light and dark side of him, right? You choose fill and then the colors fill in for you. Simple as that. Now you got some other fancy things like hue shifts, just to get some color variation and whatnot. We don't need to worry about that right now. We just need the simple shapes. All right, it's going to look jank as anything. And what I might do, I might take one of these what would you say, studies, and then we could stylize it. Actually do a drawing and try and stylize this study itself. And then we could use that, we could get all meta with it, and we could go, okay, now I'm going to study the color. I'm going to put the color study onto my stylized character. Who knows? The sky's the limit. All right, so all of this is all out of whack. That's all right, we'll get there. Now, I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm kind of going in the dark a little bit, as Mr. Gosling is in the dark right now. All right, so then we got this real bright pop-up. It's literally that. All right, so what we want to achieve is just a real impression of it. We're not trying to get super. This is a color workout, I guess you could say. We're not going for super accuracy. We want to get the impression, the idea of stuff. Let's darken this right down, but then pump up the saturation. And you could use whatever brush you've got. If you're not using this plugin, you don't need to. You use whatever brush you got, your favorite brush or your least favorite brush, if you want to challenge yourself. Now let's come here. What sort of, we'll skew it more towards the purples a little bit. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. So we've got his shoulder. Okay, now let's look at the shadow shapes on his face. He's got some of this going on. This isn't even going to look like him for a while. If you kind of squint your eyes, we're getting like a blocky Ryan Gosling. Not even just a blocky person. You can't even tell who it is. We'll get there. So I'm squinting my eyes down. And this is fun. I like this way of just doing like carving shapes into the drawing. Okay, let's come here. No, this is too dark. Lower the value. I can't fucking talk on stream. I don't know what's wrong with that. I swear I'm more articulate in real life. Mixed tea, absolute legend. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's fix this bloody face up. What time we've got? 4 minutes. Frick. All right. We need to start thinking about what we're bloody doing here. I reckon we might do 2 rounds. First round is just getting some colors down. Then the second round is finding those shapes and cleaning it up. Or maybe 3 rounds. Until I'm happy with how it looks. How's that? Don't judge me. I know this is meant to be a challenge. The most that we can get done in a short space of time. This needs to be way darker. Way darker. And you got that sort of rim light going on there-ish. You got the back of his neck, his shoulders coming up here. This is looking jank. I'm not even worried about the cigarette right now. It's the least of my issues. It'll get there. Don't you worry. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to me. Gotta get myself a bloody pep talk. I've been down the ugly stage path many a time. Let's think about this. Now there's going to be some like real subtle little value changes as we start going down into the details. Let's brighten this light up. Come here. We've got the top of the roof cutting into the head. Got a bit of the shirt crease there. Brighten this up a tad. So yeah, these studies aren't meant to be pretty necessarily at the beginning. Sometimes they work out that way, and that's a bloody great time. I really want to zoom in right now and get all into the details, but that's not what we're doing here. Jay, your painting face is my face when I cut onions. Oh man, I hate my painting face. Sometimes I like my own stream, like on my other YouTube channel, like my YouTube account. Sometimes my streams pop up as like recommended. Oh, makes me sick. Who is this dickhead? I'm just like, and then I look so pissed off half the time. It's concentration. I've got resting bitch face. I've got resting art bitch face. What time have we got? 35 seconds. Shivers, Regal. All right. 29 seconds. Not much we can do. We've made our mistakes so far. So now the next round is fixing up the little shape mistakes. 3, 2, 1. That's all right. This will evolve. How do we go? Catching up with chat. Maruna, welcome. Pedro, Ben, do you think it's possible to make money while studying? Definitely. People do that all the time. Edwin, is there any way you can increase your... Oh, sorry. Yep. No, I hope this is better. Arita P. Hi, husband. I don't know if my partner of 13 years knows about this arrangement. I didn't know about this arrangement. I appreciate you popping in, Arita. I'm Knuff. Deville, mine is looking very ill. The yellow has been overdone. Yeah, and that's the balance that we're trying to play with. I'm not trying to be like verbatim. Like I'm not trying to copy this one-to-one. I'm trying to sort of see, okay, there's some purple there. Let's throw it in there. See what happens. Official Mike Wheeler. You betcha I will. There's going to be a lot more content coming out. All right, we got a base. I want to hop back into it. I'm going to do my own 5 emojis. All right. We're going to get cracking in, let's say, a minute. I'll give you a minute to refocus. I appreciate it, Mike. Reader, 13 years too late. All right. The tea drinker. Welcome. Welcome everyone on Instagram. It is a bloody juggling act. I've got like plate. I feel like I've got plates spinning. All right. Let's get going. Where's everything? I've lost everything. Okay, here we go. We're back again. Let's start. We'll go another 10 minutes. I might actually drag this reference onto my screen just so I've got it a little bit closer because I want to analyze. Also, has anyone played around with Procreate Dreams? I have. I am in love. All right, I'm going to focus a little bit more on his face for this one. So I'm going to go full screen with this, if that's okay with you guys. I cannot do that on Instagram, my apologies. But let's keep zoomed out to there. I'm going to zoom him in. So I'm just getting myself situated. All right, and let's see how we can go with this zoomed out level. All right. 3, I'm starting it. Next time I'll let everyone do the emojis, but this time I just want to get going. All right, 3, 2, 1, 10 minutes, off we go. All right, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at these sort of big shapes. It needs to be a little bit more yellow. Needs to be a little bit more yellow in there. So I'm just going to start carving. Start carving these shapes in. Trying to find where, and squinting my eyes down as well. I'm going to look like an absolute nuff, but this is a sacrifice I make for the good of the stream. Okay, so I'm really just going little bit by little bit. No pixels were selected, my ass. Okay, so I'm really just knocking these values, like just going super, like step by step with these shapes that I'm seeing. And they're not the right values, they're not the right colors yet. What is right? What is wrong? Let's get all philosophical with this. All right, enough of that. here, a little bit lower in value. All right, let's find Mr. Gosling's eyebrow. Let's find his eye socket. All right, so he's got a little bit of a light spot here, I'm seeing, on his cheek. Ever so slightly. And you notice I'm not blending anything. I'm not blending anything, but we're getting this subtle kind of form happening. This subtle form. Alright. I want to experiment with different streams as well, where I just shut up and draw, which I'm sure a lot of people just want me to do. Because that's one thing, like learning how to do this whole streaming stuff is talking on stream and talking through your process, because all my life I wasn't talking to bloody anyone. This was all just rattling around in my head. Well, really nothing. Sometimes nothing was going on in my head. Oftentimes nothing's going on in my head. Okay, so I'm finding these real subtle value changes, right? I'm seeing there's little sideburns there, but even the neck here, this is more orange and deeper and lower in value than his face. So we can come here and make that adjustment. This hair is way too bright. There's really just a lot of stopping, thinking. What am I putting down? Why am I putting this shape down? Is this adding to the piece? That was actually a huge thing that I'm starting to think more and more about. Is this next stroke, like getting even down to the stroke level, is this next stroke adding or subtracting to the, I hate calling it a piece, but to the painting? Let's try and place. Yeah, not the best placement, but you get the idea. I'm not even drawing the eye. It's literally two triangles, right? It's a start. I'm not thinking about that I'm drawing an eye. I'm not thinking about drawing an ear. We're just throwing shapes down, people. Alright, let's see if we get this a little bit glowier. Shapes. I've also got a new YouTube video coming out very, very soon. I'm feeling this week. I've said that a few times, but it's coming. And Frank, for those of you that know Frank, there's a story arc with Frank. He's getting a little bit too confident. Alright, let's find these shapes, the shapes of Mr. Gosling's forehead. Okay, darken this brow. And as we sort of tweak the shapes, as we add a little bit more, I guess you could say, I don't know what I'm saying. We've got 3 minutes. Jesus, this session's gone quick. I shouldn't be surprised. I feel like I'm always surprised at how fast the freaking time goes. Let's see. I was wanting to do actually a Procreate Dreams session today, but I couldn't get my iPad hooked up. It wasn't working. So this painting session we'll have to do, but I've started to do some animation. Not good animation, but I started to get the first steps into learning the wonderful world of motion pictures. I would like to do I need to figure out if like doing a clay stream would even be interesting to anyone. Like, is that, because I love that. And I'm getting faster with it as well. So I do wonder if that'd even be interesting to anyone. Otherwise, I'll just keep it to myself. Whoa. See how that, if the value's off, it looks real bloody weird. The next one I'm doing 15 minutes. I'm doing 15 minutes. This time's going too fast. Because yeah, doing a clay stream would be sick. I also got the first casting done of Plain Jane, which I'll show you at some stage today. She turned out freaking fantastic, if I do say so myself. I got Ryan in, the lovely gentleman that's been helping me with the casting. We did like a full video on it, of the first casting, talking about it. So that video, honestly, that video is coming out next year, but next year isn't too far away. What do we got? Oh shit, timer stopped. My apologies. Stop it. Put it down. All right, so we've got here. It doesn't look like Ryan Gosling. It looks like someone's put a filter on a shit drawing of Ryan Gosling. But it's a start. We've got a base. And one thing that I've found also with like color, or just anything really, getting something down on the page first to judge. Because you could start, like you could spend ages just trying to get this like little pixel perfect bloody whatever, like that exact color. I find it better just to start throwing colors down, and then you can judge. And then you're not actually trying to get the exact color here. You're working off of what you've already put down, the bits and pieces, and like judging the relationships between the colors and the shapes versus trying to go straight to the reference itself. If that makes sense. I'm just rambling. Back at chat. Oh, Julia, awesome. Highly recommend getting Procreate Dreams. It's freaking awesome. I've even done some stuff on the latest YouTube video using Procreate Dreams. It's not about Procreate, but doing like little animation things that no one's going to notice, but I notice them. G Noble, welcome. I can talk as much as I like. You want the commentary? Done. Edwin, I call these studies my lab work. Nice. Nice. Deville, yeah, it's Monday to me. Sunday to a lot of you guys. Chady on fire. Welcome, my friend. Ishan, sorry. You overslept. Okay. I want to keep the mojo going. So let's put... Where is all this gone? Let's put 15 minutes on the clock. I'm going to start zooming in. We're going a little bit into Noodle Town. We're going to reset. I need 10 emojis to start. We will count them right next to Mr. Gosling. All right, I'm looking at both Instagram and YouTube. I shall call out the contributors to the emojis. Julia, always coming in clutch. We've got one. Hold on. No, keep putting the emojis up. That's fine. Keep going. Julia, we've got G Noble. We've got Billy Goat, legend. We've got Deville. We've got 4. Aigsob. We've got 5. We've got the Tea Drinker. We've got 6. We've got Ricardo. Welcome. We've got Ishan. 2 more. Reese C. Great to have ya. Who's going to be the last one? Who's going to unlock Mixter? Legends. All right, let's get cracking. 3, 2, 1, bada bing. 15 minutes. Now, I could come in with a brush if I wanted to and like really sort of smooth out some of these lines and whatnot. This is going to be shit for bloody Instagram. Oh, I'm wasting time. I'm just going to cut you out. All right, and then I'm going to have you. I'm going to have him. Photoshop, just do what I want for once in your life. Okay, there we go. That could be better for Instagram. Not for me, because I can't see his fucking face. That's fine. That'll have to do. All right, we've already wasted a minute. I've wasted a minute. You probably haven't. Or maybe you have. Who knows? In that case, get to work. Get to it. Stop fluffing about. All right, so I can only see half of this. See, this is the thing with streaming. You gotta contend with some of this stuff. All right, let's try and put some of his nostrils. Well, not so, he's only got 2, so not some of them. All right, let's think about this little triangle here underneath his eye. Because if you're thinking about this, right, if each shape is building off of one another, we want to make sure that the shapes that we put down are pretty accurate, or else we're going to be building off of a kind of shitty foundation, if you know what I mean, if that makes any sense at all. I'm not a fan of this music, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's look at these shapes. Analyze. Focus. This eye is too low. This triangle needs to be up higher. This needs to be shinier. Too shiny. Knock down the value. This shape here, he's got a bit of a shiny part on his eye. That's fine for now. Ay. Also, for those that are looking to start streaming, wear a cap so you don't have to worry about your hair. That's the main reason. Wearing a cap. And the cool thing is once you start getting some of these shapes down, you can start using them and like color picking them from what you've already laid down. Alright, his face too fat. Face is too fat. Skinny it up. That neck. Get it back here. Let's make this cigarette red hot. And the cool thing is, starting off more with this like blocky way, you can take it whatever way that you want. If you want to make it more painterly, get out your paintbrush. Okay, let's think about this. The eye, more on the bluer side. No, I think I've made a mistake. I think I'm noodling too much. I don't think I've got the structure down enough. Mistakes are being made live. Let's go bam, 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 here, bada bing. Now this whole mouth section is wrong. Let's look at this. Trying to find these shapes. As you get more detailed with it, it gets a little bit trickier to find the differences. You gotta really think. So I'm seeing there's not this crazy splash of blue here necessarily on the reference. I mean, I'm seeing blue. I'm seeing blue on the edge of his nose here. But I'm just throwing it down. Just to see what it looks like. Alright, let's get this ear in a better place. So if I'm looking at the angle here, I'm looking at angles. What time have we got? 8 minutes. Okay, whew, not terrible. This ear needs to go up. Ear angle, ear goes up. This whole thing can be blocked in now. Maybe his eyes need to be a smidge bigger. Maybe. I don't know. This could have a little bit more red here. A little bit more red on his nose here. A little bit more red. I'm fine. I find in the shadows, you can play the most with color. You can play so much. This needs to be way darker in value. Just because it's darker in value doesn't mean that we don't pop that saturation in there. This is not looking anything like bloody Ryan Gosling. But likeness takes time. Likeness takes a lot of time. Now we gotta get the bottom of that cigarette. So now I'm just getting all little tweaky little bits. I really want to get his likeness better. We zoom out. Now it's the eyes. The eyes are the issue. So you know what? Get rid of them. Let's not even worry about the eyes. How's that face looking? This needs to be lower in value. See, I'm always willing to just get rid of a whole section. It's not feeling right. Let's darken this a little. And this is all on one layer as well. I'm not dicking around with multiple layers. We don't have any time for that. This is like his stunt double at the moment. You know what? I'm bringing this here. I'm zooming in. We've got time. We've got 4 minutes. Okay, let's have a look. My apologies, Instagram. This is not a great angle. But I've got to do what I've got to do. Brighter, thank you very much. It doesn't have purple eyes. Alright, get this lid going. Bottom here. Now this is just a good practice for observation. Is this the usual way that I would go about doing this? No. He's got a little bit of the furrowed brow there, which then transitions into here. And then if we try and just get the position-ish of this shadow shape, then we might be able to find that eye shape. Maybe. Maybe not. Who bloody knows? Better. Not perfect, better. That's all we're going for. Little incremental improvements. What do we got time-wise? 2 minutes, all right. Let's sculpt out the rest of this eye here. Should actually be a little bit warmer. I'm feeling that light is a little bit warmer. And let's put his little nostrils in. Next to the super bright. Let's saturate this cigarette like crazy. There's a little bit of blue here as it transitions on his skin. This needs to be a little bit dark. So it's all just little changes, all tiny little observations, changes. Little transitions. All right, let's move him down. We've got 50 seconds. It's feeling a little bit more Gosling-esque. So I didn't even see his full face, and we're slowly getting a little bit more of him. There's some nice little value changes on his lip to make it look like it's a 3D object. Because that bottom lip's being pushed out just a tad, so that's going to be brighter based on the light source. Let's knock this in. Let's get the bottom lip in. 2, 1, last shape. Okay. How'd we go? It looks like a scuffed Ryan Gosling. But that's fine. This is a color study. We're not going for likeness. I'm just changing this. I'm cheating. Okay, so that's our first little warm up. Not the best, not the worst. But I can come in later and fix that if I wanted to. All right, just catching up with chat. DView, I don't think Procreate has something like that yet. I've just been using a fixed size round brush. Perfect. That works just as well. Sacrifice, welcome. Artistic. My weekend was great. Shania was waiting for the bada bing bada boom. There'll be plenty of those today. Julia, for the lasso tool shape on Procreate, if you look at the gallery button, it's the third button. Oh, cool. Sick. Cool. People helping each other out. Beautiful. Maruna, getting your iPad out. Fantastic. Chatty on Fire, very satisfying seeing you use the lasso tool. I love using the lasso tool. It's super, it just simplifies everything. All right, next reference. What are we feeling? Let's go to, so I've got a bunch of screen caps that I've gotten from Pinterest. Let's find one. I love this. This is going to be tricky, but it's going to be tricky. If I said it's going to be tricky, that's a good sign that we should do it. So I'm going to, I've got a very important delivery today. So I may need to scoot out for 2 seconds. At least I think it's coming today. I've made an investment in a compressor, a pressure pot, and a vacuum degasser, so I can start production on these sculpts, on the casts of the sculpts. which is exciting. Baroki, welcome. Studio Bay, I love your work. I'm still learning myself, so I find your work very motivating. That's fantastic. Ardans, welcome. Okay, so I don't know what movie this is from, but we'll get cracking with it. Okay, let's go. I don't know, 5 emojis. I just want to get cracking with it. I'm not playing around. We're getting bloody serious here. 5 emojis in chat, that's what I'm looking for. Waiting on you, chat, to unlock the next level. Or the next part of the stream. Shady. Legend, we've got 1. Uno. Tea drinker. 2. Exob. 3. Ginobo. 4. Risi cinque. I don't know. I think that's Italian. All right. So I'm loving that subsurface scattering on the ear. That's what drew me to that. So no pun intended. Or pun intended. Own it. All right. So everyone's got the reference that they're using. Let us go. KT draw sometimes. Appreciate you. Okay, what am I looking at here? There's a lot of dark and there's some key bits of light. So I'm just going to just hit the ground running and throw some stuff in here. All right, so there's some light here. You got his, so I'm almost like doing the, like you can see his hand there already. Just like his hand, his hair, his outline. There's a surface of the table that he's got. You got the outline of the hair. So I'm just doing one color just to start with. And as I've got more confident and comfortable with the lasso tool, I can sort of throw these. It feels more like a paintbrush to me now. All right, we've got a base. Let's add in some of these skin tones in shadow. Oof. No thank you. Let's just, ooh. That'll do. That'll do. All right, so we've got his head there-ish. We've got his hand there-ish. We've got his face there-ish. His face is a little bit more on the paler side. His neck. Cool, now we start to sculpt. I would love to have, I don't know if I could actually like make this eventually, like a physical thing where I can just like have it next to me. Some may even call it like a keyboard, but just like a dial. So it's more like the whole process is more tactile rather than just like hitting keys. So I can like up and down, like with the values, the hue, the saturation. That could be kind of cool. So these colors are pretty dull at the moment, but that doesn't mean that they have to stay that way. But yeah, I've been working on Procreate Dreams. I can't wait until you can export transparent. I actually chatted to their support. You can't yet export transparent videos. When that happens, ooh, watch out. See how it's we're kind of creeping up on some of these shapes. very impressionistic at the moment. Let's get some of his shirt in. But you'll notice, like, he's got a white shirt, but it's definitely not white. We know it as white. We can intellectualize that as like, oh yeah, he's got a white shirt. Not when we're painting it. It's all in comparison. So there's going to be some bounce light. Like why his face is lit on that side is because there's bounce light from this table, I guess. So I kind of want to add just an idea of that bounce light. And we can keep it this simple if we really wanted to. And his face here is going to be hit by that light source as well. So we can sort of have a little bit of his neck being affected. Let's cut them out of the background a little bit more. Add in some of these darker values. Now I'm looking at all these big darker shapes here. So we've got the dark shape of his hair. See how it's starting to sort of happen without thinking about, oh, I'm drawing people or this super complex scene. I'm just looking at the shapes. This is fun. This is like very therapeutic. What time we got? 8 minutes. Oh, let's go make a cup of tea. So it's feeling very muted at the moment. We can fix that. Let's get some of this bright side of the face feeling like it's lit. Now, let's look at this shoulder. There's some cool shapes that his shirt is making that we can play with. Now let's have a look. We need to kind of bring everything over this way just a smidge. But because it's all messy to begin with, doesn't matter. We just bring it over, move it closer. No stress. Alright, so let's see. There's definitely more of a defined shape on his sort of shirt there. Let's get this subsurface scattering, the thing that drew me to this piece, to this screen cap, his ear, glowing. So it's a little bit different. I do different studies. Sometimes I'll do more stylized stuff. Sometimes I'll do this. I haven't done this in a little while, as I mentioned before. It's always good just to bounce around. At least I'll find. Experiment, try some new stuff. Let's put these checkers. Just like an impression of the checker pattern of his shirt. It's not even checkers. Doesn't need to be. And then the next round we can go in and clean up a little bit. Clean up our mess. Slowly getting there. Also started a little project with Christian Knee. For those of you who don't know, go check out his YouTube channel, his content. He was teaching me about World of Warcraft. I know nothing about World of Warcraft. And while we do it, we were sketching and we were drawing. It was good fun. And that should be coming out soon-ish. Just a fun little experiment. This gives me those, I don't know if you go into kind of wherever you're from, you've got like a cheap shop or a $2 or like a craft store or something, and you've got those statues that don't have any faces. This is the kind of vibe I'm getting from these guys at the moment. And sometimes it's like a mum holding a baby or that kind of stuff. His ears need to be redder. More red, redder. Alright, let's make this more shiny. So just got that back here. When you start carving in some of these darker shapes, it really starts to show form. So you can't quite tell what it is. If you look at the reference, you're like, oh, yep, I get it. What do we got? 44 seconds. Let's add. And again, I'm just using the filthy plugin. You can use a brush. You do you. It's the principles that matter, not necessarily the tools. Although I do like the filthy plugin. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, everyone. So I feel like this was more successful, but we did go for a longer time period. It was less stoppy and starty. All right, so we did 50 minutes. Ishan, the lasso tool isn't much fun when / you don't have the filthy plugin tool, which I can't use. I don't have Photoshop. I mainly work on Krita. Yeah, we're looking at trying to port it to other platforms. Krita might be one if they allow plugins. Ashi, welcome. Great to have you. Biatch or Biatch. My apologies if I'm not sure if that was what you was going for. It is 11:43 a.m. And this is this plugin here, the filthy plugin. Links in the description. It's a Photoshop plugin that autofills the lasso tool for you. Jay, the timer started with Photoshop open and ended with Photoshop closed in a clenched fist. No. Ugly stage is a necessary part of this. Of course, it's Sean. Okay, so we might go. I'm enjoying this one. So maybe, I might do a poll. So I'm definitely going to do one more round of this one. Then what I might do is then do what I did last stream. Do some like stylized, a different way of thinking, stylized sketches of these characters to sort of round up the stream. But I'll start a poll, right? Start a poll. I'll let you decide. What next? Do we? What's I had this issue. Stylize the characters in line. Do more of these studies. Okay, so this is for after this round. Off we go. The stream is in your hands, my friends. Dean, welcome. Yeah, Jay, I'm going to be doing another 15 on this one. All right, I'm definitely going to be doing another 15 on this one. What have we got? Stylized characters in line. Whoop. We'll end it. What? Here we go. We'll do a timer for the poll. We'll go whatever that is. A minute for the poll. Let's go. Well, minute 30. And that's going to dictate how the rest of the stream goes. And while we wait for that, check this out. This is a cast. The latest cast. Close to the production cast of Plain Jane. Cannot wait. I've been slaving away at this base as well. So she's gonna fit nice and snug in there. And it's gonna be the same material. So I've got to make a mold of this one, cast this, then I've got to figure out packaging and all that fun stuff. And then we'll be ready to go. Looks like we're stylizing the characters in line. What's the time? 30 seconds. Yeah, look, I'm calling it there. Stylize the characters in line. Anko, I noticed your thumbnails and workspace are messy / packed with not much room for the eyes to rest. Is that a conscious choice or just a personal preference that comes naturally? Thumbnails? No, they're just about half an hour before the stream. I'm like, shit, I've got to put something up for the thumbnail. And workspace. Generally, my workspace is clean. It depends on what I'm working on. Or are you talking about this kind of workspace here? I guess you can't see my workspace, so you must be talking about the workspace here. This is a little bit more squishy, only because I'm trying to fit it in for the Instagram people. Because it's only like a phone size kind of thing. But I quite like just having this like here instead of like super clean all the time. It's something that I've liked more and more, even having my reference all over the place on the canvas. But no, very good question. All right, let's go another 15 minutes. I'm going to decide when we start this. So we'll go another 30 seconds. Make sure that you're all ready. All your chakras are aligned. I'm going to grab this piece of reference. I'm going to have him here, so I can zoom in just a smidge. All right, then we're going to go to town. Okay. KT, you're ready? Fantastic. That's all I need to know. 3, 2, oh, no, hold on. I'm not ready. Let's go 15 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go, Ishan. Scoot you over there. Okay. See, I didn't even worry about his glasses or nothing. We'll just chill out, have some fun with it. But yeah, this molding and casting stuff has been so much fun. The goal is to have that as a larger part of the business. So I'll be opening up a shop. Eventually, fingers crossed, depending on how well they go, setting up a little studio space. Maybe even getting like other... That's the big goal, right? What I'd love to do... I mean, I'm in Adelaide. But actually creating a little space for other... I hate the word, but like creators, I guess you want to fucking call it. People that put shit on the internet that they like. That they can sort of use the space. Have good vibes there. People making stuff. Similar to Slew. What he's doing in New York. That's really cool to me. So that's like the grand plan for the next couple of years. But for right now, I'm just trying to place some shapes in the correct spot. I'm going to do one thing at a time. I'm not even worried about the patterns on his jacket, or his shirt, I should say. I'm just going to squint down and find the shapes. Ooh, not that shape. I'm wondering if I could just creep up on it and not even actually draw what I want to do. My inkling is to just go in with a pen or a line and like figure out exactly where the eyes are and blah blah blah. But what if I can just find the shapes? This needs to be more orange, more saturated, definitely. Way more saturated. Let's find his lips. Move that hand way over. So that was way off. Move everything over. Hope you're all having a good time doing whatever art that you're doing. So I am having a blast. It may not seem like it because I'm all squinty and weird looking. So I'm kind of like creeping up on some of these values. So we've got that there. His ear actually goes out a little bit more. So does his hair. Whoop. It is sometimes hard to not sort of think about, okay, I'm drawing a mouth here. It is tricky sometimes. It's going to darken up a lot in the hairline. I'm like scared to put the eye in. It's gonna look jank. Okay, let's add that in there, this in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't you buddy even think about doing that. You can see just ever so slightly, I'm pushing it more than it is. But just on the edge, particularly on the skin, there's like just a little bit of saturation where that light is hitting. So it's like that subsurface scattering. All right, I'm going to leave him. I'm going to go to him a little bit more. Let's see where we can go with the dude from Sex Education. Otis. Has anyone seen the latest season of Sex Education? Don't hate it. There's some good episodes in there. Yeah, with this molding and casting that is on the top of my mind at the moment. When you're making a silicon mold, you've got to, you don't have to. Okay, I bought a pressure pot. Now, pressure pot, basically you just plug a compressor into it and it pressurizes all the air bubbles down. So to have like bubble-free castings, right? But to do that, the mold that you make has to be degassed. So you can't have any air bubbles in the mold, or they will pop out when you're pressurizing the thing. So that would have been if I didn't know that, that would have been a learning experience. And I can't wait to just start getting these out to people. Because there's something about the physical stuff. I love digital art. I love doing this in general. The cool thing about this is you could do this with oil paints. You don't need to do this in digital. It's the same principles. I'd be thinking about the exact same things. It'd just be a little bit slower. Or I'd be a lot slower because I haven't done oil painting in a long time. The cool thing is once you've got the silicon mold, you can cast it in anything. Well, not metal, but you can do resins, you can do plaster, you can do whatever. I want to experiment documenting that whole process as well. So this has a little bit of a cooler tinge. Ooh. Oh, I'm just going to put blue in there now. Why not? So that's the glare of his glasses I'm seeing. Now if we can we be sneaky and add in just a hint, an indication of the glasses. So then I'm not drawing all the way around. And then we just do like the stem of them here. Now the values are kind of out of whack a little bit, but that's fine. They're kind of in proportion to one another. They're out of whack in comparison to the reference. But because they are kind of in relation to one another, that's all that really matters. He looks a little bit goblin-esque with this ear going on. But that's fine. That's fine. Now this needs to be a little bit brighter where that kind of rim light is hitting him. A little bit more saturated as well. What time have we got? 2 minutes. I went noodly with it. I gave in. And a good way to make transitions, like, oh, how do I blend these shapes just with shape, or you can do that with value. So if I want to make this a little bit of a smoother transition, I can just knock down that value just ever so slightly and have that gradate into his forehead there. So now it's kind of like a gradient. Same deal here. Then if you zoom out, it gives the illusion of form. He's got a big old forehead that I've given him, so I need to cut that back a little bit. And a little bit of this indication of light. On the chin here. Yeah, we could really spend many a hour fluffing about with this. We got 48 seconds. Let's get this neck feeling better there. Gradate that back a little bit. Nah, fluffed it. That's okay. What we could do as well is, if we wanted to be fancy and use our digital tools, we could just grab like a soft airbrush and be like, oh, I want this cheek just to be a little bit red, a little bit more on the red side. So we can like just come over with the color layer mode and do stuff like that. Timer stopped. I know. It is what it is. But yeah, then we can do that. Then we can come back on top and then just, yeah, keep going with it. But yeah, anyway, how did we go? Gave a cool little impression of that scene. Where's my chat gone? Hello? There you are. All right, now just going to catch up with chat before we stylize, do some stylized sketches. Nice, Ishan. Thumb guns, what's happening? Thumb guns, yes, they are timed, and it's more color. Color and shape is what I'm going for. Anko, yeah, blank page. I hate the blank page. The blank page is crap. I do not enjoy it, but yeah, I guess maybe I think I mentioned that in the beginning, because this was last stream and I said, oh, let's just go on top of last stream. And yeah, a nice little way to not worry about the blank page. Mark, do I do artwork reviews? Not yet, but it's something I've been thinking about. Mark, definitely there's going to be a lot more content, specifically, especially in the new year. Maruna. Nice. Was just thinking about oil, and then you spoke about it out loud and it kind of scared me. Physical things have infinite resolution. Vishal. So insightful. That's very true. Mixed to the teal and orange challenge. I've not heard of that. Dumb, welcome. Racer, great to have you. All right, so we do need a little bit more room, a little bit more of that blank canvas to start doing some more stylized stuff. So I'm just going to hide. What am I going to hide? Let's group these, get rid of that. Cool, so now we've got some blank space. Whoa. I did do layers here, unintentionally. All right. So now, I might do a little Ryan Gosling stylized sketch kind of thing, more line work. Just having to play around. Maybe I'm not going to do it timed. I'm just going to go for it. We've done the time stuff for today, I reckon. Sometimes it's good just to play and chat, and I'll sort of keep an eye on chat and go back and forth. I'll keep an eye on Instagram as well. Instagram is great. Fido. Honestly, I'm literally learning new stuff. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So yeah, the chat goes by so fast on Instagram, but I will do my best. So now, just chill time, I reckon. Chill time doing some stylized or more stylized kind of sketches. I might push the shapes a little bit more. Do the big ears because I like the big ears. See if we can get him looking upwards, because that's tricky, right? But even the reason I like ears as well, like drawing them somewhat earlier on in the drawing, is because it really gives me perspective. If you look at my head, right? If I look up, my ears are sort of lower. And then if I look down, the ears are kind of up higher. Maruna, can you explain a little color theory while you're at it? I'm paralyzed going to color. It's a big topic, and I'm not like, how do I say it? I'm not really thinking too much about color theory. A lot of it has to come down to values. If your values are right, you can do a lot with color. Like, it shouldn't, please don't let it paralyze you, because for the longest time I was. And I regret, it is what it is. I don't really care, but it was an annoying thing to always be just drawing, drawing in black and white all the time, just because I was scared of color. But once you start realizing that color is nothing without values, then it kind of opens it up so much. I've read the master's color theory book entirely and I'm still scared. Well, this is the thing, like how I think about even like books and all that sort of stuff, courses. What am I trying to get out of it? That's like, if you just read the book front to back, it's like, cool, do what you want. Like it's fine. But for me, I would want to go into it wanting to know something specific. You know, I almost think of it like akin to just reading the dictionary. Yeah, you technically read a lot of words, right? But can you write a good story? Is there something worth you writing about, even though you've read the whole dictionary? And then how much of that do you remember? So I think if you can have a little project, like maybe I just want to draw a sphere, but make it look like a red sphere. How would I go about doing that? And that's where I oftentimes even like popping open Blender, right? My favorite little application open. Yeah, we get to use Blender today. Just as you got me chatting. You've got me going off on a tangent. And I'm bloody here for it. That's fine. If it wants to open. It doesn't. Okay. So this, like, yeah, books are fantastic. Highly recommend getting them all, etc., etc. But this has been a huge part of me understanding light and color, is just actually going in, adding a sphere, right, and then coloring it a certain color. And I mean, Blender's free, right? And your computer, and it's frozen. I was just, no, we're all right. We're all right. I've got a lot of stuff going on this computer at the moment. But then if you go, okay, this is what a red sphere looks like. And just as an example, just as a really, really quick example, you'll notice, and this is just a white light, the closer that the light is, right? So you've got like fall off, right? The light fall off as it goes into shadow, etc., etc. You can see that, but you'll notice these planes are quite desaturated compared to here. So that's like a little note that you could say. It's like, all right, what am I observing here? This is more of a pale pink versus a red, even though the sphere is red completely. So it's like, all right, as it's sort of transitioning from the light source, from this white light source into the shadows, there's an increase in saturation. Let's try that. And you've got to get a lot more from, and see if you can find that in a book or whatever technique or thing that you're trying to observe. And then very soon after that, crack open Photoshop, Procreate, whatever you're using, and then try it out. Sort of testing your assumptions. And it's like, oh, I want it to be more poppy with the color. Like, how do I try increasing the saturation? Try experimenting. But this all comes down to values. Because if this isn't lit, right, you see nothing. You see no form. You see, there's nothing here. Right? But as soon as you throw a light source on there, boom. That's where the color comes from. And that's if you're doing this kind of drawing and painting as well. The more representational stuff, I guess you could say. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I'm rambling. You got me rambling. Addy, where should I start? / step by step for studying colors. Pretty much exactly what I said. Study light. Look around you. Go in your backyard at different times of day. Look at what color the shadows are. You know, that's one of the bigger things as well, is actually being more observant. Like, I was even just yesterday, I was looking at the sun was sort of, it was like golden hour, and we got a fence. This is going to be really hard to explain. Let me get my virtual sandbox out. There was a, sorry if this is boring to anyone, but I love this sort of shit. There was, so let's say this is my fence. Item, rotate. There, please, 90 degrees, thank you. All right, so let's say this is my fence, and this fence was casting a shadow on the other fence. All right, so I've got to go into bloody cycles for this. So fingers crossed, everyone, that we don't explode the computer. 3, 2, 1. Shebang. So there's a shadow here, right? That's what I was seeing. But there's a plant right next to this fence. Imagine this ball is a plant, okay? And what I was observing is how sharp, it was like right next to the fence, how sharp this shadow is that's being cast off of the plant versus the shadow that's being cast off of that fence. It's so blurry. So that's a little sort of laws of light kind of thing that you can find out for yourself just looking around the place. The closer that the object is that's casting the shadow on another object, it's going to have a sharper cast shadow versus as this gets further and further and further away, the larger or more, the softer that shadow is going to be, which then creates realism, right? So it's little things like that, being more observant and then coming in and like testing your observations. This is all experiments. So please try not to be like paralyzed by this stuff. It should be fun. It should be exploratory. Yeah, technically it's all light. Everything is light. And if we want to get technical, from how I think about things, no, I don't know if I want to go too technical. I don't want to confuse anyone. That's for a deeper dive course eventually. No, I just don't want to confuse people. A red sphere is not actually like a color red. Okay. The properties of that sphere from like an atom perspective reflect that red wavelength of light, right? You've got me on a tangent now. We haven't done tangent times in a while, but you got me going. Because what's fascinating about this is this is all reflecting light back to us. But if we change the color of the light, let's say if we change the color to opposite on the, let's say the color wheel of red would what, be blue or more bluish. If we change this to a blue light, you look how that changes the color of that red. It takes on and it absorbs some of that light. Now it's a purple, right? So it all comes down, a lot of it comes down to the light source. And then you've got artistic freedom to be like, I want to put a little bit of green in there, a little bit of yellow in there and blah, 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 blah. Which then, if you've got the foundation of values, you can do all that sort of stuff. It all comes down to values and light. But yeah, this is like fascinating. Because if you get it exactly right, if this is like a pure red sphere, see if I can do it quickly. Again, hopefully this isn't super boring, but I think it's fucking fascinating. And if we get this like a pure blue and we do an area light pointed at this thing and we make it less shiny, what you will see is it can actually, if it does want to work for me, whoa, oh no, I made it super rough. Hold on, roughness up. You can actually get it to look like a grey sphere if the light's just right. Like see, this is going more purple. I'd have to like tweak it a little bit, but different light on different colored objects can actually cancel each other out, and then it looks like a grey sphere. But it doesn't at the moment. It looks like a purple reddy sphere. But yeah, anyway, we were doing line. I've got to keep to the poll. My deepest apologies for tangent times. Just catching up with chat. S Mars, honestly, color should be the most fun part. What helped me a lot was to shade in black and white at the beginning. Yeah, and that's another technique. Like a lot of this stuff is all just technique that's then based in the reality of values and light and shadow. All right, and now I could spend a very long time getting this looking like Ryan. But am I going to? It either happens or it doesn't. Oh, come on. Vishal, what are some of your must-use add-ons in Blender? I don't use any. I don't even know if I use any add-ons. I don't use it enough yet. I'm just using vanilla Blender, I think. Unless do I have quad remesh? Maybe. That's cool, but then you can just use the remesh tool in Blender. But yeah, as I start getting stuck more and more into Blender and that sort of stuff, I will probably need some add-ons. Now he's looking this way. Maybe I want him to look a little bit more. I don't know if anyone's seen that bowl and string reel that I put out. I haven't put it on YouTube yet. But this is what I'm thinking about to get the eye direction. And that can pretty well help me out a lot with the eye direction. Also, monochromatic exercises. Choose different shades of the same color to paint your drawing and play with different values of that color to create light and shadows. Beautiful. Love it. Capri Sun, I came to the channel to watch one of my past streams. Just come to the pleasant surprise that you're live. Oh, that's awesome. Great to have you. KT, yeah, Blender's bloody fantastic. Just start tinkering away. Small steps. You don't need to make it be a big thing. Just throw a sphere and experiment. Throw a sphere down. Or take one of Blender Guru's donut tutorials just to get your bearings. Changing the angle of the cigarette. What I actually might like to do is change forget about the brush shape dynamics. There we go. So we can get the thicker and thinner lines. So I'm going to knock him back and just play. I want to refine my line work technique a lot more. I've been seeing a lot of Villart. Check this guy out. Gary. He's actually done a stream with Patrick Jones, if you search that. But some of his work, man, absolutely beautiful. This is my favorite. Like that. Just that cross hatching, and it's like, this is a pencil. I think it's graphite. So it's traditional. But just the way he sort of shows form with some of the cross hatching. That's something I want to explore a little bit more. That would be cool. Where has my shape dynamics gone? Haha. There you go. Better. Nice. All right, we're back. We're back. Liam, welcome. Got some tips on drawing faces. I'm having a hard time on likeness and getting the facial features. People are going to get sick of me saying the same thing over and over again. But I mean, it's a pretty broad topic. But for me, it's understanding the 3D shapes. So the 3D shape of the head. I'm not thinking about these eyes or like the sockets of the eyes as like a flat. Like I'm not thinking of them as on like a flat plane. I'm thinking of them sitting on this, if we like give them a mask, right? You've probably seen this about the place on Pinterest and whatever. But it's kind of in 3D space. If we look down, you might think about the brows kind of. Oh, here we go. Perfect opportunity. So if you look at this, you'll see there's like a curve there, right? And depending on the angle, you're going to be seeing a different curve. So this curves upwards. Now that curve is going to be curving downwards. Same with all the shapes on the face. So understanding the 3D forms of the head. So if we imagine, so we're looking up at him at the moment. So this curve of the brow in particular is going to be sort of curved down, right? But if we were going to do it the opposite way, we'd do something like that and maybe have the eyes in, sort of sunken in a little bit more. You see more of the top of the lashes, and then the nose, you'd see more of the top of the nose, right? So thinking about it more from a 3D perspective helps me out a lot. And that's just that's what I like to do. It's not the right way, it's not the wrong way. It's just sort of something that I enjoy. I do. Supernova. Yo, what's up, man? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Same to you. Yeah, from a likeness perspective, I'm not worried about likeness here, but I'm just playing at the moment. But yeah, you'd really focus on his shapes, right? How close are his eyes in comparison to the rest of his head? Like his eyes might be like a little bit closer. Well, a little bit closer together in comparison. So you might try that out. Right, maybe not. They might be a little bit smaller, a little bit larger. So a lot of it is iteration as well. I seldom get the likeness right straight away. So even this lip here, it's going to be like half a, I think of it almost as like a half a cylinder. And you see that bottom lip, we're not going to be seeing that as much of that bottom lip. It just gives the illusion. It's all illusions. Even with the eyebrows, it's coming down, it's wrapping around the head. I'm not taking the eyebrows out to here. I'm thinking about that eye socket. does his hair look like? So it's more like that. Same thing with everything. Same thought process with all of it. Looks a little bit bowl cutty for my liking though. So yeah, we'll adjust. And because we're looking up, we're not going to see much of the chin, or as much of the chin as if we were sort of looking down. It foreshortens. Use a fancy bloody art term. I don't even know if that's an art term, it just is what it is. It's got a really long neck. And once you start understanding things in perspective, you can sort of make these scribbly lines and they sort of sit in place. They seem like they fit, even though it's just like a scribble. Some of his tattoos indication there. Maybe his neck here. Where's my buddy? I've seen that mistake on a few artists where they draw faces, nose and lips in the 3D form, but when I look at the way they draw their eyes, it basically looks like stickers you'd buy from a shop. I've done that. I still do that sometimes. Because we're so used to drawing the front on. Like that's all I used to just fill pages and pages of just a single eye. I would just practice eyes all day long. I'd just do an eye. And I'd get a really great looking eye. And I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm going to draw another eye. But it was all realistic. I never drew them together. Which is another thing. Drawing stuff together can really help as well. So instead of just drawing one eye at a time, getting this eye done, then this eye done, etc., etc. Let's have a bit of shadow in here, in the ears maybe. Yeah, this is where I want to get better at my line to then really see how I can push it and make the character pop, you know. All right, I might take a quick break. Quick little break, and we will reconvene in 5 minutes. I've got water break. Back in 5, one of my favorite movies of all time. There's some high quality H2O. All right. See you momentarily. we're back. Say hello to everyone. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is Ollie. Get your footing. And then follow me around everywhere. Yeah. This little piggy. Sometimes he just sits and works with me. He's not the naughty dog that barks. There's another one out there. Do you want to hang out here or do you want to go on the floor? Okay, you can hang out here for a little bit. Now he just sits on my lap and away we go. As long as he doesn't start snoring, we'll be alright. Duncan, how we doing, my friend? Astro Panda, great to have you. Ruined. Oh, hold on. Take the break out. Back in 5 minutes. I'm back right now. All right, so I'll go. I'll do a little sketch of these guys, and then I think we'll call it a day. Ruined Ink. Do you have any advice for finding your art style? I love your work, by the way. Thank you very much. You're gonna be snoring. You can't be here if you're gonna be snoring. Running little experiments on your own work based on artists that you admire. Doing that over and over and over and over again, and your style will evolve. That's how I've done it. That's how I'm going to continue to do it. My style from 2 years ago has completely changed from what it is today. And it might change again and evolve and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that would be my advice. All right, you gotta go down. You're getting a bit snory. Come on. All right, the home stretch. Let's see what we can do with these two. Scruffsy, great to have you. Duncan, it's nice to sit and watch and not be making smart ass comments. That adds the spice, the flavor to the stream. Okay, so let's see. Poor. Good thing you guys can't smell that. Oh god. Ollie. All right. So, multiple characters. They're looking at something. So this is what we've got to contend with. Let's go. So I'm just going to start. Head shape. Bam. There. Another head shape. Bam. So we've got direction here. Nose indication. Nose indication. The thing they're looking at. Bam. Right, maybe have them over here a little bit. Eye. Stylized eye. I've got some freedom to draw it however I want. So this, I start things many different ways. Well, not many. Oh, but a few different ways. All right, so I've got the head direction. Then let's see what we've got with the hand. Sorry, IG, I'm all over the place. I'll try and stay zoomed out for you guys. Not the best viewing experience, but if you want the full thing, hop on over to YouTube. So he's kind of hunched over a little bit, so I want to have his shoulders up a smidge. And we'll do a similar thing. We'll do a sketch to begin with, and then we will go over the top of it. So where is he looking? Looking about there. That seems about right. I would actually like him to be looking down a little bit. All right, not this song. Okay, so we're going to be seeing a bit more of the top of his head. So he's bald at the moment, that's fine. What's old mate doing here? So he's looking this way as well. Let's give him the glasses. Going back in space with the glasses handles. I don't know what you call them. The stems, the... He's looking... His hair is not looking great. It's alright. We'll get there. We'll get there. We will just get a base down. So we've got his hand. We've got the desk. We've got the thing. No, did I? Oof, thought I was on the wrong layer. And his hair looks weird. Hold on. Hold the phone. Better. See, I'm completely inventing this. Well, not like I'm getting the general gist of the pose. Okay, this thing's arm is back here. there. Helmet thing. I've not seen this movie, so I don't really know what I'm drawing. So this guy's eye, right? We want him to be looking at this. So let's make sure that the eye line is, oh no, I did draw on the wrong layer. Mouth open just a tad. He's a little bit surprised. And the cool thing is, because we've done a bit of like a color study with it, we could then translate these colors onto these characters, and then it would be like our colors. It's not like exactly the reference. Eye looks, oh no, I did it again. Every time, every stream, without fail. Duncan, so Ben, this year is nearly over. Do you have big plans for the upcoming year? Any hints as to what's on the horizon for you? Sculpts. Oh yeah, I don't know if you've seen. This is the first casting in full resin. Well, not full resin, it's a hollow one, but it's in resin. So sculpts, and I got some. Oh shit! Got some plans for these hands as well. So sculpts, prints, course, YouTube, content. There you go. Those are the big plans. What about you? Doing your murals? You got any big mural projects coming up? Also, I understand more so now that I've played around with Procreate Dreams why animators have this very sketchy like vibe to their drawings. It's like a really efficient way of finding the forms like on the next frame. It makes complete sense now. And it's just turned into like an aesthetic thing that people like and that I like. There's a real utility for it. Right, let's knock this back. Oh shit, that's right. Oh, nice one, Duncan. Yeah, yeah. Doing some more digital. Well, one positive with digital is you don't have to climb up on ladders. If you don't want to. I mean, you could. How's that been going? How's your you healing up? that's a bit boss-eyed there. We need to reassess the eye placement. Well, you can tell the clients if you're not healed, there will be no mural. So they wait for you. Yeah, that's the tricky thing working with clients, hey? You get some fantastic clients. Dylan, what's happening, man? Welcome. Now this eyes, see, I get stuck with eyes all the time. Let's think about this. We've got the eye and the eye socket here. That eye socket should come to about there. The eyebrow should come here. That eye. Here? No. Sometimes I just got to guess. Just got to keep tinkering. Nah. Here. No. This is what I get stuck on. I get stuck then on a loop of like, no, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's good enough for now. That's all right. Now we got the glasses. It would be cool if they came down like halfway because we're looking on top of his face. So they should sort of come a little bit halfway down maybe. Change the glasses style. That's fine. Fuck Bemmy, how you doing? Eye touches upper lid, no. Eye touches upper lid. No, because I'm wanting his eyes to be kind of wider, and it's stylized, right? So it's kind of he's kind of surprised at what he's looking at. That makes sense. Now this looks nothing like what's his face, but that's fine. I'm cool with it. Now fingers, tricky. picking his nose. One, two, three, four. Always got to check how many fingers I've put in. You'd be surprised. I have made a mistake before. Yeah, this hand's looking a bit janky, but that's fine. Just gotta roll with it. Let's do the old flip. See how we're feeling. So with your prints, Ben, do you think you do a limited edition release or just sell on demand? I saw Pitois Jablonski just dropped a run of 50 and they all went in nanoseconds. It is a tricky world. But with your audience, you'll sell them. Yeah, I hope so. That'd be cool if I do, but I'm not making any assumptions. But yeah, it's a tricky one. Like, do I sell them on demand? Maybe I sell some on demand and then some like limited edition, like 50 only. That's going to be the experiments to run, because I really don't know. So like, yeah, have some on demand that are always there. And then just have like a limited edition run, or just have we could do like seasons maybe, of like, all right, these prints are available for this for like 2 months, and then they get swapped out. No clue, man. But it's got to be fun to play around with. I've got to find a supplier as well for the prints. I've got a friend that here in Adelaide that is doing some printing stuff, or has gotten her stuff printed, so we will wait and see. But no, I'm going to share the whole process as well, figuring it out, how they go, release strategies and whatnot, because that's all fun to me. I just love the business side of stuff, because it's what keeps me being able to do this. And print on demand as well, it does appeal to me only because of the hands-off nature of it. It's like, cool, it's one and done. You click, they're available, sweet, and that's that. People buy them, they get shipped. Versus if you do a run of 50, depending on who you go with and what the deal is and whatever, do they fulfill them? Do you fulfill them? Are you going to be spending your weekends packing and shipping prints? I'm cool to do that for a certain period of time, but then it depends on the volume, etc., etc. There's just a bunch of unknowns at the moment, but I'm excited. I am excited about it. I'm also planning, because I know you've got to get like accepted into Lightbox or whatever, but regardless, I'm going to the US next year around Lightbox time. That is my plan. Which is going to be sick, even if I don't get a booth. And that's a big part of having the physical stuff as well, so it makes it worth going to things like that. So I can sort of bring them over, or I can ship them over to a mate's house. That would be fun. Julio, appreciate you, my friend. Christian, you dickhead. How you doing, man? Isham, Ben, you said you're working on a YouTube video last stream. Is it up yet? Speaking of, Christian's actually given me feedback. Well, I've sent it out to a few people that have given me feedback on it. It's in the polishing stage. So it's not up yet, but it will be soon. It's also knowing what to drop as prints as well. Exactly. I do have a few pieces. I'm not going to do... I don't think I'll do fan art prints. At least not online, I don't think. Because there's some weird grey areas with that. And I don't want to be... I just can't be fucked stressing about that. But yeah, I've got a few... And it's interesting because I've got data around what performs well, quote unquote, on social. So it's like... Could be a good little testing ground. He looks a little bit more here he looks concerned, so maybe a little bit more inquisitive rather than oh. So these are really simple characters at the moment, which is not a bad thing. There's a good place in Brisbane, but he's very expensive. Well, I mean, it depends how much I'm selling the prints for. What? Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, Duncan. I can't wait to head to the US. That'll be good fun, I reckon. Just meeting people. Duncan, you got a cease and desist from Mr. Lucas for your Jabba and Adidas piece. Oh wow. Oh no. See, that's what I'm talking about. You might get done, you might not. It's a tricky world. Rossi. I'm going to say Rossi, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome. What part of the US? I want to hop all over. Because I've met some awesome people from all over online. I'd love to go to New York. Definitely going to Los Angeles for like around Lightbox time. So that'd be sick. I'd love to go and catch up with Slew in his studio, take a couple of classes there. I've got a few other people in New York I could catch up with. New York. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that'll be cool. Catch up with James. Duncan, Art House Reproductions and Inkjet Lab Legend. I'll make a note of those. And my music stopped. That means the end of stream is nigh. So yeah, Christian, I've been talking. I mentioned our YouTube experiment. I actually want to paint up that. Was it Thrall? Or Thrall in American that we did? I'd like to paint him up. And then I'd post that and then we release the video along with the post. That could be cool. Big Thrall. Slew and 1000 collab. Do you chat with Slew? Yeah, I've met him a few times on call. No, he's a really cool guy. I love what he's doing. Julio. Armando Ramirez. Ben, I have serious problems when you mix an emotion with a change of angle in my characters. Emotions in characters are really just it's going to sound reductive, but it really is just a collection of different shapes. So a lot of it is experimentation for me. Like here, if I just do a downwards triangle, he looks concerned. But then if I just do the triangle in a different direction, in an upwards direction, he looks more inquisitive. So it's experimentation. Don't be afraid to just completely nuke what you've done, no matter how long it's taken you. If it's not right, it's not right. Do you know what I mean? Awesome, Christian. Ishan, Blender Guru's donut videos are way too long. I would have to disagree with you there. Blender is a big program. I mean, you could take him step by step because he sort of breaks them down into chapters, I think, or just like sections. Just do like the first modeling chapter or section. Now he's looking, notice this, right? Look at his eyes. He's looking like down here, but his finger's up here. So usually what you're about to touch, you're going to look like generally where the finger direction is going. This is getting nitty gritty, but I'm in the pocket now and I'm enjoying this. So I want to make sure that the eyes are focused on where his finger is actually looking. So it makes it more natural. Well, not natural, but like makes it look better. You know what I mean? Just that tiny change helps a lot. Oh yeah. Oh. So it's a cool little scene. Another one to eventually paint up. No, completely fluffed that one up, eh? Yeah, Duncan, he is. Yeah, he's an Aussie. Yeah, laughing is tricky. Yeah, Duncan, Ishan, yeah, he is Australian. So with like laughing characters, I'm feeling spicy, so let's do a laughing character. Like I'll show you a little demo of like a character with their mouth open, because you've got to look at the jaw, like the teeth, and keep that in mind. So if we go to our stream expressions from like last stream, you'll be able to find this link. Where's stream? Stream figure, stream style, stream. I'll just go expressions. So Do I have any with the mouth open here? I mean, he's kind of front on. I'm gonna have to make it up, aren't I? Okay, here. Right, you've got to take note of that jaw, that upper jaw and that lower jaw, right, of where that's, so there's structure there. At least this is how I like to do it. Then have the lips come around. Right, so you got the teeth, and that's going to help with that placement. Right, and again, it's just shapes. It's all an illusion, but understanding how it's been placed. Right. So like the jaw, if you're looking up underneath, then you're going to see the teeth underneath, and then that jaw might be way large, like super open. You're going to have to think about that. Or if you're looking down on the teeth, they're going to be sort of more like that, right, with the jaw, like if you imagine the teeth. Like that, if that makes sense. And then you've got to figure out where the lip's going to go. So I like to like chunk it in different sort of stages, I guess you could say. Here, I've just eyeballed, I've just guessed it. I'm not really thinking about all like the skull and everything. Oh. All right, hold on a sec. I've got to take this call. I'll be back in 2 moments. Hello? Hey? Apologies, got to wrap this up in a sec. We've got deliveries galore. Where was I? He should have made spider tutorials. Feels like most shapes seen from an angle can be broken down into triangles and ellipses. That's a very good observation, Debbie. I'm sure they could if I thought about it hard enough. I'm sure, yeah, you could break them down. But even taking photos of yourself, like with your mouth open, closed, in all sorts of directions. Beautiful, Julio. He's trying to hate it when people draw individual teeth. All right, I think I've got to wrap this up. But before we go, firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone popping in. This makes my Monday. And I look forward to it every week. So let's just do a quick recap. Where do we go? So we did some little color studies to start off with. There's a little bit of a eclectic kind of stream. We did some Mr. Gosling's Ryan studies, Mr. Ryan Gosling studies. Then we got this screen cap study, which I love the lighting of. Then we just did some stylized sort of sketches, not looking crazy for likeness, but more just trying to get the essence of the poses and all that kind of fun stuff. Just having fun, really. Nothing too heavy, you know what I mean? But before we go, let us talk about that plugin that I used, Filthy. The Filthy plugin, if you wasn't there for the whole stream, just quickly, it autofills stuff for you. It's come out with a new update, new UI. You can use it with alpha locking now, which is sick. It's all beautiful. Francis has done some wicked work on it. You've got the hue shifts and all that fun stuff. So that's the first thing. You can find all this stuff that I'm going to talk about on my website, beneblin.com. All right, so hop on here. You can go up to the menu. You've got the PS Photoshop Auto Select plugin. It's called Filthy. You can check that out. Bam. Next, you got my stylized character tutorial. If you like this sort of stylized stuff, I've got this tutorial, 10 chapters, 8 hours, takes you through all the process of drawing this guy. You've also got the 3D models that I sculpted up to sort of help you think in 3D, because everything I'm thinking about here, I talked a lot about it this stream, is just thinking in 3D. And I've also got a PDF field guide, 40 pages for you, because I like reading and not having to scrub through chapters of videos and that sort of stuff. So this is a nice little companion you can get along with the tutorial. And also the podcast. Whoop, 404 page not found. Got to fix that. If you like content creation, if you like figuring out how to this content game, which is how I like to think of it. If you want to hear me ramble on about the ins and outs, the real numbers, the struggles, the successes, everything, I do that with my good friend Francis. We've got a new one coming out very soon, but we've got a bunch of backlogs. If you want to check that out, I'll throw the links to all these in chat right now. Duncan, to get the update, it should have been emailed through. If not, check Gumroad again, and you should just be able to re-download it, and it should have the updates. If not, flick us a message, and I'll be able to sort that out for you. So I'll just flick the links of everything in the chat. The autofill plugin, Filthy, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. And also Discord. Let's check out Discord. Discord really quick. And I'll throw that in there for you as well. So here is where, if you want to join in, people have been trying the challenges as we go along, show off their work. I post in here occasionally. And yeah, I want to make this more active in the new year as well. So I really want to focus on certain things within the Discord and getting this up and running. But yeah, people posting in here daily, which is sick. So that link, I'll throw that link in the, again, how in the fork? Invite people, copy. There you go. Discord, beautiful. All right, now that's all over. Any last questions before we go? Let me just make sure I still got it. Yeah, Instagram's still up. Samhit, I'm going to butcher this. Samhit Tashandilya. I'm a huge fan. Appreciate you. Thank you for popping in on IG. So now it's time for any last questions. I've got IG up. I've got YouTube up. Procreate Dreams is fantastic. Thumb guns. I'm in love with it. I've started to do a... See, I wonder if you can see it here. Procreate Dreams. How am I gonna? I've just got to do it the jankiest way possible. Dream. So I've been doing some. I really don't know if you're going to see this or not, but we'll try. Is that going to be too bright? Yeah, it looks like a blank screen. So let's see if we get the brightness down. Oh, this is hot. So, I don't know if you see that or not. I've been playing just a super simple little, it's probably blurry as shit, but yeah, having a play. I'll get better. This will be part of my content as well, trying to figure out animation. But yeah, having a blast with it. It's awesome. Devi animations. Oh, Devi, you've been playing around with dreams at all? That is a fly nearing the character. It needed something. I've not done comics before. That's something I've been thinking about as well. Lots that I want to do, but I can do it all, just not all at once. So that's something, a sad realization. Fido, how long did it take you to master your color theory? I honestly don't think I've mastered color theory, number one. Two, I don't think you ever master color theory. But it takes a long time to wrap your head around it. But what helped me a lot is understanding light. Light is the key. And we talked a little bit about this in stream if you've been around. So if you want to go back on YouTube and check it out, that might give you a little bit more of an insight of how I think about color. Duncan, have I done some? I did do some gouache paintings. I don't know where they've gone. To be honest, I was in a bit of a pinch and I needed brushes to create the mold, and it completely destroyed all my gouache brushes. So I've got to go and get some more. Thungun's less illustration capabilities than regular Procreate, definitely. But what you can do, I believe you can transfer your brushes from Procreate over into Procreate Dreams, which is pretty cool. I haven't done that yet, but I've heard that you can do that. TV Paint 11, spent too much on it to not use it as my main program. Fair enough. I get that. Mixter, start with a comic strip first, then move on to comics or graphic novel. That will give you the practice you need for storytelling. Beautiful, because storytelling is something I really want to get into. Any tips for line work that beginners should follow? Fahar, my friend. I got a YouTube video. There's a beautiful thing about YouTube. I got a YouTube video out on my thinkings, on some of the thinkings about line work. I've evolved a little bit since then, but yeah, go check that out if you haven't already. Duncan, you need to start getting your Discord helping you out with some Hive Mind assistance. I think a la 1000, his community help him out heaps. That sounds like a good idea, because I'm spreading myself a little thin. No, you can't edit brushes in Dreams. No, I've tried, but that could be an update coming out. I've got no idea. Oh, the new Rebel 7 is on a really great special right now. If you want another art pack, Rebel 7. What is Rebel 7? Rebel. What are they? Oh, brushes. No. Oh, it's software. Huh. I'll check it out. I'm always cool. I'm always cool. Definitely not. I'm always keen to try out different software and that kind of thing. Anyway, that phone call was, I've got to be ready to accept a package coming shortly. So with that, thank you again. Really appreciate it. Love chatting to you guys. Oh my God. Love chatting to you guys. It's a ton of fun. Hope you got a little bit out of it. If not, it was a little bit of fun. And yeah, I will catch you in the next one. And as always, trying to find the end stream button. All right, catch you later. Instagram, appreciate you. YouTube, we're still live, but not for long. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to be hanging around a little bit longer because my account's been switched. I'm still on the stream, still here, still here. I don't know how to stop the stream. I'm still here. This is awkward. How come I cannot stop the stream? Okay, now we're good to go. All right, catch you later, everyone.